His Excellency President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr., Senator Sherwin Gatchalian, Senator Pia Cayetano, members of the Diplomatic Corps, mga kababayan, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamualaikum, madayaw, mayong adlaw kaninyong tanan, magandang araw sa inyo lahat. Araw-araw, iba't ibang hamon ang kinakaharap natin. At hindi po natin itinatanggi na maraming pagsubok ang dumarating sa kagawaran ng edukasyon. Madalas, makikita ang bakas ng mga hamong ito sa mga muka ng ating mga mag-aaral, ng ating mga guro, at ng ating mga kawani. Ngunit sa kabila nito, makikita rin natin ang iba't ibang mukha ng pagsisikap na nakaangkla sa sinumpaang bokasyon, sa pagnanais na maglingkod at sa hangaring matupad ang mga pangarap. Sa mga mukhang ito po tayo humuhugot ng lakas. Ang mga mukhang ito ang tumutulak sa atin na ipagpatuloy ang layuning maitaas ang antas ng edukasyon sa bagong Pilipinas. As we persevere to change the educational landscape in our country, we take inspiration from our fellow Filipinos, from our farmers who cultivate the soil of the land, plant seeds for our consumption, and nurture it for a collective tomorrow. From our doctors and nurses who save the lives of our loved ones. From our artists whose works of art tell the stories of our nation through colors, words, emotions, dance, and music. From our soldiers who fight for our motherland and tirelessly protect our peace and liberty. From our teachers who devote their lives to teach every child and prepare them for a better future. Education is everybody's business. Education is about nation building. Education is about enabling every Filipino to realize their full potential. Education is about making dreams come true. We all know that the path to one's success is oftentimes rough, but with strong hearts and firm ambitions, we shall overcome. As we stand here today, we reaffirm our commitment to this colossal endeavor. Unfazed by the unthinkable, we will bravely take the challenge of sustaining our actions in our MATATAG Agenda. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Basic Education Report 2024. In our commitment to make our curriculum relevant to produce competent, job-ready, active, and responsible citizens, we have launched the MATATAG K-10 curriculum. We have decongested the curriculum to focus on the development of foundational skills. I would like to take this opportunity to thank all those who participated in the public consultation. Insights gathered from the public were truly valuable in finalizing the revised curriculum. After all, this is not simply a DepEd curriculum. This is the basic education curriculum of the Philippines. Ito po ang curriculum na inaasahan nating humulma sa kabataan bilang bagong Pilipino. Ang bagong Pilipino na may disiplina, integridad, may malasakit sa kapwa, at pagmamahal sa bayan. As we speak, the MATATAG K-10 curriculum is already being piloted in 35 schools across 7 regions in the country. We are actively monitoring the pilot run to determine areas that may need enhancements before its nationwide implementation in school year 2024 to 2025. We would like to thank all our partners in the development of lesson exemplars and research being conducted for the pilot schools of the MATATAG curriculum. Learning recovery has always been foremost in our agenda. In support of our learning recovery program, we rolled out the National Learning Camp during the break to supplement learning efforts from the previous school year. Last year's National Learning Camp saw the involvement of 939,314 learners from grades 7 and 8 and 229,036 teachers from a total of 34,383 schools across 16 regions. To further strengthen our recovery efforts, we have also introduced Catch-Up Fridays. We can no longer remain passive, knowing that there are still learners in the higher grade who can barely read. From now on, Fridays will be dedicated to reading and comprehension, while also providing sufficient time for values, education, health, and peace competencies. The promise of basic education is to produce young contributors to society. To guarantee job-ready learners, the review of the senior high school program is already underway. Simultaneous to the ongoing review, we have already started enhancing work immersion guidelines to respond to the needs of the labor market. Upon the recommendation of the Private Sector Advisory Council, work immersion models are being piloted in various industries such as construction, tourism, IT, agriculture, and health. Through the Philippine Qualifications Framework, or PQF, we have included junior high school and senior high school diplomas in the PQF levels 1 and 2, which will help increase the employability of our senior high school graduates. Mga kababayan, ang batang DepEd ay batang makakalikasan. Despite focus being on curriculum improvements and learning recovery, we have not forgotten to guide our learners on the importance of environmental preservation. We commit to instill environmental responsibility among Filipino children and future generations to come. As a gift to our children, last Christmas, DepEd offices and schools went in full force for the 236,000 Christmas trees project and surpassed our target by planting a total of over 2 million trees in one day, as certified by the Department of Environment and Natural Resources. We have also taken steps to accelerate the delivery of our services. Last year, we reported the scale of our predicament regarding inadequate resources and infrastructures in schools. In 2023, despite delays, we have made significant progress as we led the simultaneous ceremonial turnover of 24 completed last-mile schools and delivered a total of 63 last-mile schools to date. Last year, we also personally saw the devastating damage left by Super Typhoon Odette when we visited Clarin National High School in Bohol and Triana Elementary School in Limasawa, Southern Leyte. We have not forgotten them. In fact, there is an ongoing reconstruction of a one-story, four-classroom building in Clarin. Meanwhile, 11 classrooms in Triana Elementary School have undergone major repairs and are now ready for final inspection. In 2023, we built a total of 3,637 new classrooms. Additionally, 6,200 classrooms are in various stages of construction, while 811 classrooms are already under procurement. By the end of the first semester of 2024, we hope to complete the construction of at least 4,000 classrooms. We have also finished 4,542 classroom repair projects, and currently there are 3,428 being repaired, and another 5,896 classrooms are to be repaired soon. We have made progress, but clearly this is not enough. DepEd is committed to working with the Department of Public Works and Highways to improve proper coordination and the special allotment release order request process so that we can build more and build faster. Infrastructure, however, is not limited to concrete walls. We recognize that technology plays a huge role in improving education. With that, we have also prioritized the provision of internet connectivity in our schools. Currently, 25 schools have been chosen to be part of the proof of concept being conducted by Starlink. On top of this, 305 schools have been given fiber internet connectivity, while satellites have been delivered to 2,000 public schools nationwide. As we continue to pursue ICT-assisted learning, we are also continuously providing e-classroom packages, laptop packages, and digital literacy training to improve learning, teaching, and learning outcomes. To date, the department has procured 4,067 e-learning card packages, 337 smart TV packages, 2,366 teaching packages, and 3,161 non-teaching packages. In total, we will be distributing 8.2 billion peso worth of laptops, smart TVs, external hard drives, wireless routers, and charging cards to 2,455 school districts across the country. As we always say, improving the quality of education requires a whole-of-nation approach. To this end, we recognize the invaluable contribution of the private sector. Last month, we laid down the public and private education complementarity framework to create a collaborative environment for the public and private sectors to expand access to quality education. We have initiated the regular conduct of quarterly meetings with private school organizations to discuss issues and concerns. Through our GASPE program, we have assisted over 2 million private high school students for the current school year to ease congestion in our public schools. We are also consistently supporting our learners enrolled in private basic education in the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region for Muslim Mindanao, assisting over 61,000 junior and senior high school students for the school year 2023 to 2024. In accelerating the delivery of basic education services, governance is key, and change must start from within. With the establishment of the procurement strand last year, we have awarded 288 projects in the amount of 11.701 billion pesos. Likewise, for the first time in its history, DepEd received an unqualified or unmodified opinion from the Commission on Audit based on its 2022 annual audit report. We shall continue to uphold this good practice to sustain a transparent, accountable, and effective Department of Education. We are committed to taking good care of our learners. The past year, we have placed great emphasis on schools being a safe space for our children. We continue to strengthen the mechanism in safeguarding our learners against all forms of violence, discrimination, and dangers. Our approach has always been twofold: prevention and response. We have placed preventive measures by establishing functional child protection committees that can teach our learners to recognize violence, exploitation, and sexual abuse. Furthermore, 1,017 teen centers were reactivated for health resources and referral. With the help of partners, we have also launched online resource and referral programs, such as the Lusog Isip Kabataan Education and Malaya Akong Maging, or I Choose campaign. Through the promotion of alternative delivery modes, we were able to decrease the total number of dropouts due to teenage pregnancy and early marriage by 88.85%. We also conducted the first Learners Convergence and launched the learner-led and learner-authored Learners Declaration for the MATATAG Agenda. In our efforts to respond to incidents of abuse in our schools, we established our DepEd TeleSafe hotline. So far, the Learner Rights and Protection Office has resolved 178 cases of child abuse. We likewise provided psychosocial first aid, or PFA, to learners and personnel affected by armed conflict and trained 10,000 personnel to conduct PFA. Likewise, 400,000 personnel were given orientation on mental health and psychological support system. We also made sure that no student is left behind. Persons living with medical conditions and teen mothers were kept in school through alternative delivery modes. The welfare of our learners comes hand in hand with the promotion of inclusivity in our schools. We have strengthened the indigenous people's content in the curriculum. We have developed policies on individualized instruction and the institutionalization of Filipino Sign Language, or FSL. Additionally, we conducted a language and inclusion summit to identify key action points moving forward on achieving inclusion and respect for language and cultural diversity in basic education programs. We have also taken the initiative to develop an alternative learning system, or ALS micro-certification advocacy and communication plan, complete with ready-to-use materials for ALS learners, ALS implementers, and employers. Aside from these resources, we have also created learning delivery guides for Arabic language and Islamic values education, or ALIVE classes, lesson exemplars on literacy integration in ALIVE instruction, and formative assessment resources for the Madrasa education program to guarantee effective implementation of the inclusion programs. Nutrition and proper hygiene also play a vital role in the development of our learners. For our school-based feeding program, we have returned to 120 days for the regular feeding component and 43 days for the milk component. This is a significant increase from the 60 days of regular feeding during the pandemic. Engaging in sports is also vital to learners' holistic development. We also provided 1,036 schools with sports supplies, materials, and equipment under the Sports Supplies and Equipment Enhancement and Distribution Program. 2023 was also the year we brought back the Palarong Pambansa, fostering values of sportsmanship and camaraderie among our student athletes across the nation. We gave support to our teachers to teach better. Firstly, we provided additional staffing complement in schools through the creation of 9,659 new teaching positions, 3,500 administrative officer 2 positions, and 1,500 project development officer 1 positions. For professional development, we partnered with CIMEO to provide strategic thinking and innovation training to 2,378 school leaders, apart from various learning and professional development interventions that were organized. We likewise extended our training and scholarship programs to Indigenous Peoples Education, or IPED, and Special Needs Education, or SNED teachers, respectively, in our bid towards innovative, responsive, and inclusive teaching approaches. Teacher welfare will always be at the forefront of our agenda. We purchased personal accident insurance from the GSIS for all DepEd teachers and personnel. The insurance cover seeks to ease the financial burden on our teachers when accidents occur. We commenced the registration of teachers and employees to the PhilHealth Consulta package, and soon they will be able to avail of free medical consultations and free selected laboratory and diagnostic testing in accredited DepEd clinics. We also lowered the hardship index cutoff for the special hardship allowance. As a result, an additional 16,532 teachers in 1,812 schools were made eligible to receive the special hardship allowance. Lastly, we have already engaged the World Bank to provide us with a study on teacher salary. Ito ang daang tinatahak natin sa taong 2023. Ang lahat ng ito ay hindi gawa ng iisang tao o iilan lamang. All we have done so far was made possible by the collective efforts of the approximately 900,000 strong DepEd team. I would like to take this moment to thank my DepEd family. There are no big or small roles sa ating mga guro, sa ating mga personnel, sa central office, sa regional offices, sa schools division offices, at sa ating mga paaralan. Daghang salamat kaninyong tanan. Mga kababayan, sabi nga nila, malayo-layo na, pero malayo-layo pa. Although we have made strides during the first year of the MATATAG Agenda, there is so much left to be done. Hindi ngayon ang oras magpahinga. The Department of Education will build on what we have started and even expand our MATATAG commitments. We will continue to make our curriculum relevant to produce competent and job-ready, active, and responsible citizens of our country. We look forward to the nationwide phased implementation of the MATATAG K-10 curriculum. We will roll out the National Math Program and the National Science and Technology Program. We will institutionalize a comprehensive peace education program to foster a culture of peace and understanding. We will utilize the results of national and international assessments, such as the National Achievement Test and Program for International Student Assessment, to craft policies and practices toward the improvement of learning outcomes. We will pursue the project for learning upgrade support with the World Bank, which aims to digitize assessments, support various education programs, support inclusive education programs, and contribute innovative, responsive, and inclusive teaching approaches. We will also be working with Asian Development Bank on their pipeline project, advancing climate-smart, quality, inclusive, and resilient education. We will cultivate the innovative spirit of learners with the curriculum integration of entrepreneurship and agri-business education. We have forged a partnership with Go Negosyo to provide learners the opportunity to learn from successful business owners and agricultural companies about practical business skills. Through this partnership, we will also launch the Pampaaralang Taniman ng mga Agri-Bida program, or PTA. This is DepEd's response to the national policy of agriculture as one of the backbones of wealth creation. Through the establishment of school gardens, our learners will not only learn how to cultivate crops, but will also be given the benefit of taking the harvest home to their families. Further, excess produce may also be sold by the respective parent-teacher associations to augment the school MOOE. We will push for more job opportunities for our graduates. We are currently in talks with the MAL Group for the development of work immersion programs for our senior high school learners with the aim of providing eventual employment possibilities upon their graduation. On the reversion of the school calendar, we have recently conducted a consultation in the central office with various teacher organizations, parent-teachers associations, student leaders, and other relevant groups. Consultations on the ground at the regional and division levels are currently ongoing. We are awaiting results of the consultation. These measures underscore our commitment to Sustainable Development Goal 4. It is our commitment to provide quality education and promote lifelong learning opportunities for all. We will take bigger steps to accelerate the delivery of basic education facilities and services. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to present to you the DepEd Digital Education 2028 or DepEd DigEd 2028. Ito ang magsusulong ng makabagong edukasyon tungo sa bagong Pilipinas. This will be our flagship program to banner our commitment to adaptability and technological advancement. Through the DepEd DigEd 2028, we will pursue full digitization and interconnectivity of all DepEd offices and schools nationwide. We will provide school-wide Wi-Fi. Although our records show that 69% of our schools nationwide have access to internet connectivity, the truth is, most are limited only to faculty rooms. We have initiated talks with Converge, PLDT, Globe, Starlink, and other internet providers with the aim of providing adequate internet access to both teachers and learners in our schools. Alongside traditional textbooks, we will also provide e-textbooks. To leverage digital technology, we have started consultations with various publishers to facilitate the provision of electronic textbooks. In the procurement of textbooks for the MATATAG K-10 curriculum, we will require the winning bidder to provide us with electronic copies that learners may access anytime, anywhere. We will modernize assessment systems, including equipment and manpower, to enable large-scale assessments using computer-based methodologies. We will optimize the use of technology while ensuring its responsible and ethical use, especially with the world exploring artificial intelligence in both teaching and learning. We will be launching the MATATAG portal. This will be a one-stop online, offline development. We will be expanding the school-based feeding program for school year 2024 to 2025. What used to be just 120 days of feeding will be increased to cover the entire school year. We will enhance online resources and platforms for comprehensive sexual education. We will strengthen the Learner Rights and Protection Office telesafe hotline and will open more help desks in schools. We will also establish more teen centers to serve as safe spaces. We will prioritize the psychological well-being of our learners. We have allocated a budget of 210 million pesos for mental health programs for fiscal year 2024, more than double the budget for 2023. We will strengthen the complementary role of the alternative learning system, ensuring that school-age learners are able to return to the formal school system. We will ensure that inclusive learner resource centers are functional. We will strengthen our inclusion programs such as the SNED program, multigrade program, madrasa education program, and IPED program. We will develop a comprehensive curriculum for Filipino Sign Language and rural farm schools. As part of an inclusive approach, we will also provide assistive electronic tools for learners with disabilities. Grade 1 textbooks will be converted to Braille learning resources for learners with visual impairments. And video lessons embedded with Filipino Sign Language will be developed for learners with hearing impairments. We will give more support to teachers to teach better. We will continuously strengthen teacher support through professional development programs for educators and school leaders, as well as training for teaching reading across grade levels. We will provide strategic guidance to vital councils, including the Early Childhood Care and Development Council, Literacy Coordinating Council, and Teacher Education Council, or TEC, fostering a comprehensive approach to education governance. We will move quickly to strengthen pre-service and in-service teacher education through the TEC. To further empower educators, we will develop school-based training packages and session guides to ensure that field personnel are equipped with effective curriculum implementation. Sa ating mga mahal na guro at mga kawani, hindi po kami titigil sa paghahanap ng mga paraan at paglalatag ng mga polisiya upang tugunan ang issue ukol sa net take-home pay ninyo. We will soon issue the Employer Welfare and Well-being Policy Guidelines. We will be establishing a calamity fund that will provide immediate financial assistance to our teachers and personnel in times of disaster. We do recognize the burden that comes not only with calamities, but those also brought about by medical emergencies. Thus, we will also propose and fervently move for the amendment of an administrative order that will allow us to finally provide health insurance for our teachers and non-teaching personnel. We will also issue a policy on teaching overload pay. We want to ensure that our teachers are rightfully compensated for hours of actual classroom teaching beyond the 6-hour limit provided under the Magna Carta for teachers. Aside from overload pay, we also want to give overtime pay to our teachers. Historically, for non-teaching tasks performed outside their regular working hours, teachers are only compensated through service credits. In the next budget cycle, DepEd will be proposing a budget that will enable us to grant overtime pay to our teachers. Speaking of service credits, we will also increase the cap for service credits. We will raise the cap from the current 15 days to at least 30 days. DepEd is also aware of the concerns regarding the Continuing Professional Developments, or CPD. We have initiated talks with the Professional Regulation Commission towards streamlining the accreditation process for all DepEd-NAIA professional development programs across all governance levels. With this, our teachers will not have to absorb additional financial burden for CPD units. Finally, we have always expressed our intention to remove administrative tasks from our teachers. After holding several consultations with our field personnel, the department order on the removal of administrative tasks for teachers will be released tomorrow, and the corresponding strand memorandum will be released next week. To ensure its effective implementation, along with the filling up of 5,000 administrative personnel for 2023 and another 5,000 administrative personnel for 2024, we will also be providing additional MOOE to enable our schools to hire the necessary administrative support staff. Let us bring our teachers back to the classrooms. Ladies and gentlemen, let me share with you DepEd's love letter to the Philippines. Minamahal kong Pilipinas, ang kwento ng Pilipino ay kwento ng katatagan. Sa ating kasaysayan, hindi na mabilang ang mga kababayan nating tumaya sa kanilang pangarap, nagsikap at nagpunyagi. And for many, education brings them closer to their dreams, opening opportunities to write their own story, to become an inspiration for the next generation. Maniwala kung agyuta mong sumulat, istorya dareng pangarap, aming atupad, istorya dareng tagumpe, istorya dareng matatag. We must raise our children to carry this resilience within their hearts and minds for their future. We must carry this resilience within us to build the matatag nation we all dream of para sa bagong Pilipinas. Mga kaigsuunan, magpadayon kita nga magmadasigon ug dili mahuyang, taliwala sa mga nagkalain-lain nga pagsulay, tungod kay mas mahinungdanon nga atong masaksihan ang nagkadaiyang dagway sa kalampusan ug mga nakab-ot nga pangandoy sa atong mga anak, tungod sa atong pagtinabangay, tungod kay kita matatag. We will push forward. We will not be deterred until we bend the curve, until we fulfill the dream of every Filipino child. Arapaap dagiti ubing intay patalge din. Hanggat may batang nangangarap, mananatili tayong matatag para sa kanilang kinabukasan, para sa isang matatag na Pilipinas, para sa isang bansang makabata at batang makabansa. Ang lahat ng ginagawa natin ay para sa Diyos, sa bayan at sa pamilyang Pilipino. Nagmamahal, Inday Sara Duterte.